Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I want to present about application of geometry. First of all, I want to introduce my groupmate Adlina binti Azmin Shah, Kasina binti Ahmad Azlan, and me, Muhammad Zikri Bezamri. Our chosen cases is donut and menari condong.
Introduction is geometry is the most influential branch of mathematics concerned question of shape, size, relative position of figures, and the properties of shape. It's a potential problem solver, especially in practical life. Geometry briefly is used in various daily life applications such as surveying, astronomy, navigation and building, and much more. Let's look at our example. We have chosen to talk about donut because it is common in many countries and is frequently produced as a sweet snack that can be homemade or purchased in bakeries or supermarket. And Teluk Intan Leaning Clock Tower because the uniqueness of the tower.
About donut. A donut or donut is a type fried of dough, confection or dessert food. It is popular in many countries and is prepared in various forms as a sweet snack that can be homemade or purchased in bakeries, supermarket, food stall and franchise specialty vendors. Donuts are usually deep fried from a flour dough and typical either ring shape or a number of shape without a hole and often filled, but can also be bowl shaped donut hole. Other type of batter can also be used and various topping and flavor are used for different types such as sugar, chocolate or maple glazing. Donut may also include water, leavening, eggs, milk, sugar, oil, shortening, and natural or artificial flavor. The two most common types are the ring donut and the filled donut, which is injected with fruit preserve, cream, custard, or other sweet filling. Alternatively, small pieces of dough are sometimes cooked as donut hole. Once fried, donut may be glazed with a sugar icing, sprayed with icing or chocolate on top, or topped with powdered sugar, cinnamon sprinkles, or fruit. Other shapes include rings, ball, flattened, spear, twist, and other forms. Donut varieties are also divided into cakes, including the old-fashioned and the yeast raisin type donut. Donuts are often accompanied by coffee purchased at donut shop, convenience store, and petrol station, cafe, or fast food restaurant, but can also be paired with milk.
This is the shape of donut we use. The radius of the big is 3.5 cm and the radius for the small circle is 2 cm. For donut we use Torus formula. That is 1/4 pi squared, radius of the big squared minus radius of the small squared, and times with radius minus radius small. For the surface area is radius of the big squared minus radius of the small squared times by pi squared. So we can conclude by the volume is we put all the information that we have. The volume we will get is 30.5341, and the surface area that we get is 81.4242.
So the next our cases is Menari Condong. So the story is one of the main attraction of Teluk Intan is the Leaning Clock Tower. This tower was built by a Chinese architecture, Mr. Leong Chongqiang, in 1892, and it also acts as a reservoir to supply water to the residents and also act as a clock tower. This tower no longer hold water, but the clock will function and chimes every 15 minutes. The area surrounding the tower has been restored with brick and now is being used as a plaza for various formal or informal activities. A road in the city center of Teluk Intan is named Jalan Ah Cheong to recognize Mr. Leong Chong Cheong, who built the tower. The clock tower is situated between the intersection of the Square Plaza, which is Jalan Pasar, and Jalan Ah Cheong, with the Jalan Selat and Jalan Bandar on the left and right side of tower. Through research made on the leaning clock tower that was known as a tall clock, the reason made and motive of building is as a fire extinguisher in case of fire, as a reservoir for the resident in case of stroke, to commemorate the British administration, and as timekeeper and identity of Teluk Intan. When contractor Leong Chong Cheong wanted to build this clock tower, it was undeniable that the British was the owner and the administrator at that time. After independence in 1957, this clock tower automatically becomes national property, and now it is under the authority of Perak government. During the Japanese administration, this building was used by Japanese soldiers as a control tower to watch the enemies. This is the description of the style. With careful examination, the Leaning Clock Tower has the biggest influence of Chinese architecture. This is because of the pagoda concept. Even it was built during the British administration, the Chinese influenced donors and contractors succeed to fight to their culture. It is obviously shown on the external facade like the gate, tile roof, and its tile decoration prove how rich the Chinese architectural and culture are. From the outside, this building looks like it is an 8-story building, but actually it only has 3 floors. Each story is 5 meters high, and there are total of 110 steps from the ground floor to the top of the tower. The water tank, which is 5 meters high and 18.36 cubic meter deep, in on the third floor, and is made of steel. The foundation is 13 meters in diameter and tapers to a diameter of 8.2 meters at the top of the tower.
The the combination of the clock tower is used is cone and a cylinder. We can see in the information the height of the cylinder is 15 cm and the radius of the base is 6.5 cm. For the cone, the height is 10 cm, slanted height is 10.81 cm, and the radius for the cone is 4.1 cm. For the surface area of cylinder, we use the formula of pi r squared plus 2 pi r h, where we can get 949 over 4 pi meter squared. For the surface area for the cone is slanted height pi radius, and we get 44.321 pi meter squared. For the volume from the combination of cylinder and the cone, we can plus the formula and we will get the answer is 4112.87.
The conclusion for our cases is, to sum up, every day we are surrounded by space and the shape of things. The very planet we live on is situated in a universe full of interesting stars, surrounded by other planets. All of them have different shape and size. Geometry finds huge application in the real world, out of which some are described above. Geometry helps us in deciding what materials to use, were designed to make and also plays a vital role in the construction process itself.
That's all from us. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.